Good evening, moms and dads. So, tonight I am going to share with you all how one of my sessions is conducted when I'm treating children that have very limited mobility. Um, and I hope that you moms and dads out there would really appreciate this because I know everything nowadays is about autism, autism, autism. But there are parents who are, caring for kids that have cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy. Maybe they've had some type of brain injury. And so I treat kids like that currently. And so I just want to share some of the things that I do. And these are things that you can incorporate um, at home. And so one of the first things that I always like to bring into my parents' home is a yoga ball. And you've seen this on some of my other videos. So make sure you have a large yoga ball, anti-burst ball. So you just don't want to use any type of ball. And I have in mind kids that are 50 pounds or lighter, okay? Because when they get a certain size, you need to transition to another way of getting that mobility. But for a small child that's 50 pounds and lighter, you can use a yoga ball. And so for a child that has hypotonia, that's very low muscle tone, um, they can't sit up on their own. They probably can't hold their head upright independently. This would also work for a child that has hypertonia. That's a child that has very high muscle tone. Their movements are very rigid, very spastic. So I will start my session off by placing this child on their belly on the ball. And so let's start with the child that has the low muscle tone. What you want to do, you want to try to normalize that tone, try to increase their muscle tone. So the motion that I will try to give them is somewhat fast. So I like to incorporate music. So I will have like an up tempo, a fast tempo, nursery rhyme, and I will bounce that child. I will rock them forwards and backwards, side to side. And that motion helps the muscles to contract. Now, if it's a child that has a lot of muscle tone, I will still place them on the large yoga ball, place them on their belly, but the music will be a slow nursery rhyme because the motion that I am giving them is a slow rocking motion. I wouldn't even bounce them because they already have a lot of muscle tone. I'm trying to relax them. So I would do the slow rocking. And that's something that you can do at home. It's not just good for their muscle tone, but it's also good for their brain, good vestibular input. You know, if you think about it, children that have very limited mobility, you don't want to just confine them to their beds or to their customized seating. So that brings me to the next thing is to have a lot of floor time with them. Get them out of that bed, get them out of their customized seating, and get them on the floor. This way they can stretch out. Maybe you could try to facilitate them rolling. You can do some tummy time. So don't let them just go from the bed to the chair and then maybe from the chair to their stander. Let them be on the floor. Weight bearing. Weight bearing is very important for all human beings. If we do not compress our joints, if our muscles do not contract, then they're at risk for losing their mass, from losing their strength. We call that atrophy, where the muscles will start to diminish. and weaken if you don't use them, if you don't put weight on them. So weight bearing is very important. With my kids, I will, whether they're have low tone or high tone, I will place them either in a semi crawl position or a full crawl position so they can get that weight bearing. Weight bearing is so important. And then after they get all of this input, so by that time, we're towards the latter part of the session. And so I do want them to still try to use their hands, even if it's in a gross way. So, and this is what I just bought for one of my kids that I have in mind. If your child, whether they have a low tone or high tone, a lot of times these kids that have issues with grasping, buy something that can attach to their extremity. So I love these little things. This can attach to their wrist, and you can try to get them to raise their arm. Just shake their arm. I love these little things. And if they have an issue with always putting something in their mouth, then make sure you monitor them. I even suggested to my parent to tape it, to take these bells around so they won't put it in their mouth and take it off. But even with the tape on it, I would still monitor them with these on. So there you have it. These are things. There you have it. These are things that you can do daily with your kids. Get them out the bed. Get them out of their customized seating. Put them in different positions. Let them experience having their head in a different position. All of this is very important. And I believe that is it. It is past 7 minutes. Next week will be my last live stream for a while. I'm going to take a break. It's coming to the end of the school year. And so I believe next week I'm going to focus on maybe some things that you can do during the summertime with your kids. And with that said, I will say goodbye and see you all next week.